Hi there, it's Miss Emily with the Youth Services Department of the Fayetteville Public Library. We're starting a new series called Ready to Read. This is going to be full of tips and information about teaching your child to read. Before I was a librarian, I was an educator. I worked for about 12 to 13 years in education. I taught almost every elementary grade, including preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. I taught in California, Kansas, and Arkansas, a mix of public schools and private schools. So I've helped quite a few kids learn how to read. More and more parents are asking us for information and resources on this exact subject, probably because more of us than we ever expected are educating our kids at home, or at least helping educate our kids at home. Here's the good news. Almost every child makes it through school learning how to read. Unfortunately, not all children make it through elementary school learning to love reading. And while of course we want them to know how, most of us probably also want our kids to love reading, right? So my number one tip for teaching your child to read is still reading to your children, right? Read with them, read to them, read picture books, read chapter books if they'll listen to you. Let your kids see you reading for pleasure, for business, to learn something. Our kids will do not just what we tell them, but what we show them. So if you want your child to be a lifelong reader, read to them. That's my best tip. I do want to cover a few practical tips, though, about learning how to read. We're going to start with letter recognition because that's the first step. I'm actually splitting letter recognition and letter sounds into two different videos, but they kind of go hand in hand, and your child can learn both at the same time. It's fine. Those two things overlap. You'll see in the video that I made this week with my goddaughter, Kimber. Sometimes we go back and forth between what the letter's called and what the letter says. This is fine. Also, for the purposes of this video, I just started with the letter A and then randomly chose a few others. Depending on the curriculum that you're using or your school is using, there may be a very specific sequence that they want you to introduce the letters. This is fine in my opinion. I've taught several different curriculums in the mini schools I was in. Everybody does it a little different. My tip is just do them a few at a time. Master 3 or 4 and then move on to others. If you have a particular pattern that you feel is important to introduce them in, I say go for it. The other thing that I wanted to show you when giving ideas on how to teach these things at home is to avoid, as much as I could, worksheets with pencil and paper. Kids get a lot of this from their schools, and I wanted to show some fun ways to do that. I'm going to show you two activities today that are both fun ways to introduce letters and letter recognition. There are literally millions of ways to teach this. I couldn't possibly film a video that covered even a fraction of them. So I'm going to show you two, and then down below this video, I'm going to add a link to my personal Pinterest page that I have saved with letter recognition activities. These are all activities that I would use in my classroom. I've checked the links to make sure that they work, and I think that you'll find them useful. So please go ahead and click on that if you're looking for more ideas. You don't have to have a Pinterest account to view it. Okay, let's get started. This is my friend Kimber. Kimber, can you wave and say hi?
Hi.
Can you tell them how old you are?
5.
What do you get to do next week that's going to be so fun?
Go to kindergarten.
Go to kindergarten. That's so exciting. So we're working on some letter recognition. Do you know what this one is? Do you remember what this one is? This one's an A. Your last name starts with A, right? Okay. So one of the activities we're going to do is we're going to practice writing some of our letters in sprinkles. Is it fun to write in sprinkles?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see you make an A, and I'll make one on this side, okay? You make one over there. You can do this with your finger or a paintbrush. We had a hard time with our paintbrush though. Okay, ready? Let's make another one. Let's make one. Do you know what this one is?
K.
That one's a K. For who?
Kimber.
For Kimber. And for kindergarten. Can you make a K? Good job. Awesome. Okay, this is another letter recognition activity where they can fish for the letters and then find where they match. Which one is that one? She's already found a few. It's yellow. Yeah, do you know what that one's called?
No.
It's an I. Which was this one? Can you tell me what that one was again? Remember it says V.
V.
It's a V. What was this one?
A.
A. Let's see if you can go fishing for a K for Kimber again. Do you see it in there?
Here.
There it is. Do you see where it matches? Can you turn it around? Can you turn it around like this? There it goes. Good job. This alphabet chart was a free printable that I will link to at the bottom of this post. And we just stuck it in a Ziploc bag because it's getting wet. Those little fishy letters. Do you know what this one is? It's a little half circle. You know what that one's called?
Right there.
It does match that one. Do you know what that one's called?
No.
U. That's a silly one. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I hope we gave you a couple ideas of how to introduce letter recognition. Like I said, those ideas along with a bunch of others are going to be in that Pinterest page that I'm going to link to below. If you have questions that maybe you're wishing a teacher could answer, send them my way. My email is ejones@faylib.org. I can't promise that I can answer everything, but maybe I can point you in the right direction, or maybe I can address it in the next video. Good luck, parents. I know you can do this.